St. Anne's Hill, second oldest historic district in Dayton. 330 plus or minus structures. These are a couple of the more notable structures, but there's a lot of smaller buildings, less elegant buildings, and that's one of the buildings that I'm going to talk about. It was a grocery store built in 1860 by James Sinke and his wife Mary, 700 square feet, 350 on the first floor for the grocery and 350 upstairs, and that's where they live. This picture maybe looks like what that might have looked like. I'm not really sure. They were there until 1870. This map is from 1870, and you can see the circle there where the property is, almost at the extent of the Dayton development at the time. 20 years later, the area had pretty well developed. You can see that from this map, all the houses had been all the lots had pretty well been developed. The arrow points to the James Sinke property, and there had been an addition added on the back at that time. This picture shows the what it might have looked like if you were standing in the original building and looking back. Through those archways, you would see where that addition was. It's not a real big building, but it served many purposes. After grocery stores, it was many things. After the Prohibition was repealed, it became a tavern, a neighborhood tavern called JoJo's Cafe, and it remained JoJo's until the 90s. This picture is from 1990. It was sold to somebody who changed the name to the American Saloon, and it was operated until 2009 as American Saloon. And one of the things that they did was no maintenance. This building was in awful condition, and so we put together a group of neighbors and we bought the property in 2010 for $15,000. This aerial shows the property. It's the large building on the left and the smaller building we call the brew house on the right. The garage at the bottom has been torn down. So you see, it's not a large property, typical for the area. This is a picture taken less than a month after we acquired the property. The money we had set aside was dedicated to exterior renovation, new roof. We tore the old signs off, restored the siding, took out some old windows and put in new windows, and painted it. We had a lot of structural problems and floor problems that we had to correct. This is the back of the brew house. We had to tear off the whole end of that and rebuild the foundation. So we had structural problems as well as cosmetic problems to take care of. The one guy there is in the center was our primary contractor. This is a picture of the inside of the property. It was dated, dirty, it was disgusting. And so we decided we were just going to demolish the entire inside. We got all the owners together and we spent a couple weekends taking off all the plaster, ceilings and walls. It was dirty, dirty work, but this is what we ended up with. This is how it looks today. This is where your next meeting in November will be. We think we've done a nice job, but we have a lot of work to do on the inside. The group that did the demolition, this is a large part of them. The reason we're smiling is we haven't started the work yet. Once we got finished with the work, we were so dirty you couldn't even see our faces in some cases. They were so black with soot. But this is that's a part of the neighborhood that did this. This is a site plan showing how the building is now, drawn by an architect named Matt Sauer, and it shows at the bottom the tavern building, at the top the brew house building, and in between a patio that or a grassy area that we will use as a patio. This is how the tavern building looks today, and this is fairly close to what it might have looked like in maybe 1900. The green color is the same as the Deeds Barn in Caroline. Caroline Park, if you've ever been there. This is the grassy area between the two buildings, which has never really been used, but we intend to make it an outdoor seating area, a 3-season additional seating area for the brew pub. We did use it back about a year ago. St. Anne's is a very social neighborhood. We have parties every month. In the summer we have what we call PPD parties, that's patio, porch, and deck, and it's at different neighbors every month. Last July, the 1600 group that owns the building hosted this party. These are many of the neighbors there. Some of them are members, some of them aren't. This is the little building to the east of the tavern building. This is what we call the brew house. We hope soon that aromas of barley and malt will be wafting from this building. That's at least our plan at this point. But the most exciting part of this whole thing is not what we did, but how we did it. This is a list of 32 people, 25 residents of St. Anne's and 7 friends that put $1,000 to $5,000 apiece into this project with no expectations of ever making a profit. And some of them said, I don't care if I get the money back. The idea was to fix up the building and to eliminate an eyesore and bring something into the neighborhood that's positive. We ran out of money back in the winter, and so we had a fundraiser, and we raised another $4,000. We raised enough money to finish the work that we had in mind, and we now have a lease signed with a brewpub co-op. And if you have any questions about the brewpub co-op, please see me after the party.